We're just going to do an intro on this camera right here before we officially get started. This is the G Podcast, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and everything else you heard. This is the G Podcast. Wow. Oh, man, it's just sounding better and better, man. One more time just to get the juices going. You know what I'm saying? This is the G Podcast, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and everything else you heard. This is the G Podcast. Wow. 12 minutes in on the audio. Don't know about what's in on camera over there. My goal is to minimize as many filler words as possible. This is where I will try to be my best Barack Obama. Because that is nice with the speech. Facts. Politics aside, it's like the pre-episode before the pre-episode. Actually, I just discovered something different because if I can be transparent, it takes just a little getting used to talking into these different situations. It really does. Takes a little getting used to. And when I say it takes a little getting used to, I mean a lot of getting used to. It takes a lot of getting used to. So it is important to have some sort of warm-up routine, regardless of your craft. You don't just go from 0 to 100. What is that warm-up routine? When you look around, even a Steph Curry, a LeBron, whatever your sport of choice is. I'm an NBA guy. That's what I follow. Why do I follow the NBA? Where else do you see so many black men from places that seem familiar to me not only succeed, but then be put in position to provide for their families in a way that is so uniquely fly. I just don't see it anywhere else. It doesn't get marketed like the NBA does. I don't know. I'm just an NBA guy. And that is why, in large part, I do tend to wear more like Nike than Reebok or other brands. It's not an endorsement or anything. One, growing up, my moms wouldn't buy Nike. That's just one thing. So I think I have something in my head that I don't know the right word, but there is something there. There's something there. My mom would probably agree because I also don't really wear sneakers that aren't Jordan or Nike because I couldn't have them as a kid. The whole theme of expectations, man, it continues on and on and on. But getting back to the warm up, Like, what's your warm up? See, I just went on a whole nother thing, but I'm warmed up. I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to continue to grow, continue to move the needle. Move the needle. I think that is a key to no matter what you're doing. Can you move the needle? When I say move the needle, it won't necessarily always be to where you expect to move it. But did you at least move it a little forward, right? Expectations. So, picking up from last episode, we're going to get into what I want to discuss today. And it's just a continuation of what we talked about. Oh, man. Where we last wrapped up, I did discuss just the importance of how I got here through decisions I made years ago. And when I made those decisions at the time, I didn't even know what a podcast was. But here I am today with the unique blend of everything that I've been preparing for consistently, both creatively, professionally, and personally, have led me to this point. Wow! I cannot say it enough. The key, though, to the whole equation, it's all about priorities. I listed 3 things: creative, personal, or let me run it back, recreational. Creative, personal, professional. Are there other categories that we could create? Yes. But frameworks are important for a reason. They give proper context to evaluate and then make more strategic decisions based off just a better framework. It gives you the guardrails to have more efficiency within your decision making to get from A to B. One of the beauties of being a learner is you understand frameworks. You understand models, right? We study successful businesses and then create case studies. This is not news. But in life, what are your case studies? And are they any good? Do they set you up to be your best self? Or do your case studies perpetuate systematic abuse or the traditions that were established when you were deeply oppressed as a people and didn't have any other options? This idea of options is so powerful. I'm warmed up. I am warmed up. This idea of options is so powerful. Cannot say it enough. We all have options. But when you come from, especially, I can only speak from my perspective. I know I descend directly from Black American slavery. I'm reluctant to call it African American slavery for several reasons, but I don't like to classify myself personally as African American. Calling Black. And if everyone else in this world can speak to how they feel they should be identified, I'm telling you now, call Black. Because that is what was created here. That is what I come from. And through that Black lens, I have a unique perspective. Black is American. Let's be clear. Are there other quote unquote Black people? Come on, man. Of course. But we're not talking about just Black people. We're talking about the Black race. See, this whole concept didn't exist until got here. This is a unique experience, unlike any other. And when you descend from that experience, you have to really challenge and ask yourself a lot of questions because so much was taken away. So many options were off the table. They didn't have an opportunity to prioritize. And so I think as we stand today, from my perspective, as someone who has descended from Black American slaves, another reason why I just call them Black American slaves is because do we know even where the slaves came? I can't tell you much past my grandma's mama, maybe on both sides. This is an unfortunate reality for a lot of Black folks who descend from Black American slavery. Now, Black folks who don't descend from Black American slavery, I have a lot of close friends. My best friends are Kenyan and Ethiopian. These know their tribes. I'm talking about generations. And as a Black American, I'm one generation removed from segregation, and I have the opportunity to exercise a few more choices than what the people before me had. It's not to say that the choices are always quote unquote fair, but I do have a few more choices. So what I want to talk about today, more specific, is the most important choice that I feel you can make as a human being. Who is your partner? I think that is the most important choice that you can make for yourself. And you say, why do I say this? I think that's a good place to stop right there. And all I'm going to do is hit pause there and start it over, and hit save here and start it over with the real episode. But I like that. I'm warmed up. Warm up cam. That's what you are for. All right. Outro.
Final system check for re-entry.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Looks like you got off course there, G.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
Come back frame white. But it sounds like you made it just fine.
All right, we about to have some convo. And why is that so important? This is the G podcast.